Desire, when it is fully grown out here, kotlaring itself like a tired lady, when it's at the nth degree of itself, it brings about death. So Satan will inspire desire in you. Desire of which, like I said earlier, is not in and of itself problematic. God says, commit your ways to me and I will give you the what? Desires of your heart. Desires are not problematic insofar as they are ensconced within the right parameters. That's only when desires are cool for you to roll in. Alright, so Satan's job is to put desires in the wrong space so that he can send you to the place where people lack self-control. Outside are the dogs, the fornicators, the idolaters, those who practice witchcraft, the cowardly, the etc. Essentially, you ran with desire, and this desire, I have got a single strand knot over here that's wreaking havoc in my hair gold desires. What? Outside are the dogs, the fornicators. I just broke it off, I don't care. The fornicators, the whatnots, and the what have yous. So those who could not exercise self-control before getting marriaged and just ran with stuff. I'm looking for that little hair, I don't know where it is. It's all good in the hood. It's all good. Yeah, no. There is a place for everything. God is a God of order, not of confusion. You don't just get to make like little hamsters all over the show from the age when your body is out here yelling, screaming at you, speaking volumes of nothingness. You don't get to just run with that, okay? Self-control is a thing. So with that being out there, comprehend that there is no body that can induce a great amount of desire in me and then cause me to just run with it, because I have embraced the second Adam. I am a Christian. I've given my life to God. Passions don't just have a field day with me. I've been celibate for 13 years, not because I desperately longed to be high and dry with cobwebs everywhere. For 13 years. I'm only celibate for 13 years, or sexless, if you will, because that's what a lot of y'all call me, because there's no husband. I would have had sex in the first year of my Christianity if I got married within that time. Second year, third, any time in the run-up to today. Only thing that has been restraining me from doing it is righteousness, godliness, consecration, the recognition of a fireplace that's got wood and coal in it that's waiting for the opportune moment to be burned, to be lit, so it can warm my whole house. I am waiting to explore intimacy in an ensconced environment, an umbrellaed environment, an incarcerated with righteousness, if you will, environment, and I will not budge. But no, y'all be thinking you can do what you do to all these other ladies in these streets that you keep on sprinkling snafe into the noses of until they sneeze sex. And these women be like, but I did not know what to do to myself in the climate of all this Tamba vibe. It was so energetic and electric. I couldn't deal. After all, I saw it in a dream. And mind you, the crazy stuff that you will see because of Temba's electricity in a dream will stay Temba's electricity in a dream. Because the fever of that funky rando called Tamba in the dream will never compare to what Temba can do to you or for you in waking life. Because listen to this, the spiritual realm is a lot more acute, sentient, sharp. Senses there are heightened. So whatever pleasure you be out your feeling in a dream, understand you will never feel it in waking life. I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you will never have as great sex in waking life as you will ever have in dreams. The devil is all about being a hyperbole. He exaggerates. He uses the spiritual realm to heighten that which can be experienced in the physical. So therefore, the anticlimax of dealing with Temba in waking life is also going to break you extra more, like a frail lady with arthritic bones, with a strange sleeping sickness. You are going to be bitten by a tsetse fly that's going to give you sleeping sickness in bed when you had the time of your life in a dream. And you will be looking at this buffoon in waking life that you have just slept with and be like, I only did what I did because I only expected what you gave me in a dream, because I thought I desired you. I thought I liked you. I thought I wanted you, and that's why I was dreaming about you like that. Oh Jabu, oh Tamba, oh Vusi. And then Tamba, Vusi, and Jabu are an anticlimax in waking life. So these Korobela junkies only set themselves up for failure, is what I'm getting at. They put themselves in a position to disappoint women, and vice versa. When you are chetlesaring a person, whatever they experience from you will never compare to what awesome flamingo you are in a dream. So when you run with lust and passions induced into your bones by sex dreams, you're only asking to cry later because it wasn't even that great. So ang mobo Jabu, libo Temba, libo Vusi, badi Korobela, men that you dream about having sex with in dreams, all of a sudden from the office, some dude from marketing, and you out here in some steamy session in a dream. And you ask yourself, but like, I don't even work with that guy. I barely talk to him. I greet him when I walk past him in the corridors. That's about it. Why am I dreaming so raunchy about this rando? Why am I dreaming so sultry about him? Korobela mo fitileng thing. They will ravaza you with sex dreams until when that same little Jabu comes to talk to you, you'll be like, yeah, feeling all flustered, unsure as to what to do with yourself. My goodness, in his grill. There was a dude from Kimang MTN that I dated very briefly. I need to help you understand. This guy found my blog, my content online, liked me, figured that because he's got a profession of faith, he's gonna make me his girl. Yeah, he's gonna make me his lady. Struggled. I've already explained the story before. He struggled to get me taking him seriously because he already was not bearing too many fruit at the time. And so nekimo sola, nekimo suspect. So I was apprehensive about embracing his pursuit of my person. I also thought he looked like a child, and I was a grown woman, you know? I needed a man. And this guy was not giving man. He was just giving boy. So I was passing him shade. And he was like, 1 second. Just you wait over there on the corner. Bah! Slapped me with Korobel. Hit me with the woza. And next thing, yo, that's like it, but as a Christian, he slapped me with that temptation. So just because you got the Holy Spirit doesn't mean it's not gonna come. You just are better able to resist it and hate it for the hateful, the spiteful, resent-worthy thing that it is. Everywhere where I looked for this oak, this Temba Jabu Vusi vibe, let's say his name was Togoza. This Togoza buffoon, I go from being like, he's a bit of a kid though, to yo. I had a colleague at MTN, friend, Cheeky. Two of us always here talking about everything. We also used to low-key fellowship in the things of God too, or high-key. We used to talk about Christ all the time. This chick was like my friend or whatever. And I remember telling this woman, yo, bench, I was like, that guy in his girl, like, I just think he's so sexy. That was probably the word that I used. Here is a Christian woman utilizing terminology of the planet. I already explained the story to you. I told my friend, I was like, ha, this guy, busy. And I think he's so sexy. Like that dude, I would see him just walking from one corner of the office to the other, and I'd be like, yes, like it, what is going on? Understand, I'd been seeing this dude for a minute in the building. It was not the first time I done seen him. From a distance, I done seen him. This guy's been walking around all up in my grill all this time. But now, I was in heat. Now I was in heat. Every time I saw him, it's like he gets in. Like, you know the frenzy that takes you over when you've got a crush on a guy in a boy band. And you are just screaming. Because he's like, baby, 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 oh, like Justin Bieber. You be getting Bieber fever, but instead of it being Justin Bieber, it's just some dude in the office. But you never used to look at him like that. You've seen him all these years, all this time, all these months. He's been just here. First stop. Hello, if you greet. But now all of a sudden, Obona Adonis, Greek god, ripped. You are seeing someone that you can't get your hands off. Injalo Karabo, please don't come at me. Me, I've been trained. Me, I've been taught some things. I've been made to see Adonis out of a baby boy. Like Tyrese in that movie. Gave on a sex machine to a point where I was telling my girl, angazi ukuthi ngizenzeni when I see this guy kyahlanya. Yeah. Claimed to be a Christian and everything. I got a slew of random sexy time dreams with this guy. And every time I would look at him in waking life, I just felt like I was so blessed to have somebody that I am so attracted to. Because of his korobela. Even though I had rules and regulations, even though I did not want to kiss before marriage, I knew that you must not put coal in your lap lest you should burn, etc. The Bible said so. Flee from sexual sin. The best way that I was going to flee from sexual sin was not to kiss at all. And I wanted to be chaperoned. Basically, whenever we go on a date, there has to be some other people there. Also, I didn't want to spend time alone at his apartment. The two of us just together. Like, with a tether and a noose, and a seedy man in a bush with candy, calling a little girl. This guy brought me into his apartment, and lights out. Just like it. Went from one peck on the cheek, loads of kissing, making out, just losia. We did everything, except have sex. But that's just the thing. It was eventually gonna get there. If God did not yank me out of that environment. He was a professing Christian. I was a Christian. He brought me in Kakorobela. And I was perpetually all up in making out with him. Because I was busy touchy-feely groping him all over these streets. I got to touchy-feely grope where I was not supposed to touchy-feely grope. And yes, I'm telling you right now, ladies, it was an anticlimax to grope there. Because what I saw in my dreams did not compare to what I groped. I don't want to get into details as to what I was groping, but he basically did not compare to my ex-boyfriend. And that's what under heaven, I'm out here trying to let you guys know about capitulating to sex dreams and also about having sex at all. You accustom yourself to the sizes of people's nether regions. You accustom yourself to whether or not somebody had a six-pack while another one was just flabby. Whether another one had taut buttocks while the other one was squishy. You accustom yourself to basically comparing your boyfriends to your exes. I used to have an ex that was like Nagatao jogger. He would run from where he stayed in Rockville, Soweto to Barra and back every day. He was a runner. He was an athlete. So he was firm. Nobody compared to him in terms of how ripped he was afterwards. And I was always missing that. All the other guys after him, I was like, Kyaukajima man. I would never have known if I was not out here groping some dude that was hard as steel. When later on I dealt with guys what's happening gym. I never would have known the difference. I literally would never have known the difference. Sex before marriage will make you that ambivalent about even your spouse. And it's the kind of stuff that will also make you end up seeking out certain things because you're not getting it in your marriage. You will seek out certain fetishes that you establish because you're not getting them. How would you know that you're not getting something if you've never been experimented on with it? If you've never been, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally take whatever God gives you, and whatever this person has for a body, what he is, what he's willing to do for you, or what his patience is, his endurance, Papa, that's all you got, and that's all you'll ever know. You will never ever feel dissatisfied if you don't have a barometer by which to compare some other person. So here it is that I am a Christian, 2 years in the faith, nearly fornicated, groped and stroked a person until I found out, unfortunately much to my demise, that he was small in comparison to my ex-boyfriend, and I was so disillusioned by that. Because for me it was like, but me and this guy are busy talking about marriage. Uzongikhumbuza my ex. He's going to remind me of my ex-boyfriend. Mara, the way he was so well endowed, die baga, epupwen, ha. So if you want to meet with a in waking life, you will go and have a steamy session with Jabu that you were made to look at because you had a steamy session with him. Kotorong. They will lure you in with Oza. And you will meet with anticlimax later. That is the way that witchcraft works. All of these men that keep having sex with me in my dreams, they are always well built, and their manhood is apparently size appropriate or fit for purpose. I can't complain. However, even though I have not seen any of them, their manhood in waking life, or even them, some of them are strangers, I don't know them from a bar of soap. Some of them are strangers, I don't know them from a bar of soap, okay? And so because I don't know them from a bar of soap, I can't tell you what they look like in waking life, or, yeah, I don't have anything. No, I don't have any barometer to measure them with, but some of them I do know in waking life, even though I have not slept with any of them. Like, for instance, yes, you guys, the dreams that I am afflicted by, I'm just, Yazi, spiritual abuse, sexual abuse in dreams, like, I can't, like, I literally cannot deal, like, it's just horrific. I told you guys about a cousin of mine that is incestuous, that I got 2 dreams about, with me having sex with him, and I was mad out of my mind, upset, on some, what are you, who are you, like Amnon to Tamar. I complained and I cried about that guy. He is, in waking life, this round, he is just rotund, okay? He's just gained weight ever since he graduated out of his childhood, and he is just now. Last time I saw him was about 5 years ago. Nyamazi in physical form, Mugutunjani, what he looks like. He's not, if he was not family, the kind of person that I would ever date, because I don't like my men rotund. I don't like them thick. I prefer my men lean, because I'm lean. So I would never ever accommodate him. But in my dream, he was toned, ripped, lean. He does not look like that in waking life. But in my dream, he looked lean. So basically, even though I've never seen his nether regions and I would never want to see them, for crying out loud, he's my cousin, I have seen him. And so granted that I've seen him, everything else about him that is, what is untrue about him in the dream must necessarily be untrue about him that I've never seen even in waking life. These guys always look a lot better in your dreams. Or women, if it's the woman that's out here doing this to you. They always look better than in waking life, and that should be a strong hint that you're going to be disappointed when you sleep with them if you let yourself capitulate to sexual desires. They tend to be a lot thicker, bigger, taller if they're scrawny and short in waking life, and they tend to be skinny in dreams if they tend to be fat, rotund in waking life. So therefore you can trust that if they are girthy in the right places in a dream, they may very potentially be bwah, 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 wah, 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 in waking life. Expecting. So only look out for cues to gauge that and it's not going to be the same when you do sleep with this person. Do not let lust take you into the bed of a man that made you want him because you dreamt about you having sex with him. The dude from MTN that I used to think was my future husband, that he tumpat me with, he looked like himself in the dream, just without the mkaba that I kept on seeing in waking life. He was a tall guy, he was very handsome, he was quite cute. Mara, motoronyaka, in waking life he had a small little, puchi, you could not have a gym, like, yeah. Alright, clearly not have a gym. If he worked out, he would end up looking really good, right? And in my dream, he was always ripped like an Adonis. Me thinking out here that maybe that means that one day he's going to join the gym and he's going to look like that, because he had potential to look like that. However, unai tatela pizza esa kopanang lidi sibi, so he just had a bit of a pooch, and I didn't care. I didn't mind. I liked him. I loved him so much that I couldn't care less. That mkaba of which that was eventually at some point going to bore me because he was going to become a fat husband. I was going to make him eat right. I don't know. Like, I don't know, whatever. I liked him, but I certainly saw him very differently in my dream. Gunjalo in these people's lives. So whatever it is that I experienced from him as well, in terms of his package, I don't know. I was never with him. I never got to touch him. I never got to see any of that. But it might have very potentially disappointed. So these guys, they set themselves up for the failure of disappointing women, and vice versa. As a woman, I would imagine they probably look a lot more hourglass shaped. Their breasts are a lot perkier. No stretch marks, no flaw, no pores in the skin. She probably looks like an Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Brr. She looks like an aphrodisiac, just walking around. In your dream, in waking life, and stretch mark, open pores, acne, nendaba yokuthi grand sharps, she's just a Nando's chicken. I get a variety. But Uklisile, she was like, me, I want you. She was a Jezebel. She was like, I'm taking it. Jabu Tongyala, you are gonna marry me. You will have sex with Aphrodite, but she's not really the goddess of love. Da, is she now? She's not really Aphrodite in the dream. She's not really Aphrodite in waking life. But this Aphrodite wannabe is going to harass you with how beautiful she is going to be in a dream. Autonomy, ability to think for yourselves. You will throw it away, lock it in a call this thing in some kind of a chest and put it in like some bush and put an X on it and say X marks the spot, and no one will ever find you. Satan. With people out here taking you by fire and by force. I keep on getting harassed by people cursing my chastity to go and have sex. I believe Jesus. I am a Hlongwane. I have trusted upon the King of the universe, and I am running with him. So I'm not Aphrodite, the goddess of love. I'm not that girl. I'm Jisimun to me now. I don't rock up in a dream out here looking like I don't have a single flaw on my body, not a single scar on my skin. I don't out here rock up in dreams giving guys their biggest sexual fantasy Nkare, it's an AI bot that is licentious. No. I am not an OnlyFans chick out here using all different kinds of body filters to deceive men prepared to part ways with a whole bunch of money into believing that I've got a flawless body. I am not that thing. I am a human woman that is not an animal in heat. And I find it offensive that a slew of irresponsible psychopathic men are trying to make themselves look like my Adonis. And so make me have sex because apparently who dry. Literally, I kid you not, from like 8, 9, 10, 11, especially when you're a boy. That doesn't mean you should be having sex because it's high and dry. So I don't deny ukuthi high dry la ejardini. I don't deny that 13 years is literally a stretch. I ain't denying jack, y'all. I don't deny that I've got passions and desires. And I also don't deny that I would much rather not have to wait another year. But bottom line is this. If I need to pee and there's no bathroom in sight, I'm not going in my panties. Understand, my biological makeup is gonna help me hold that in until I go to a garage and run in there like Speedy Gonzalez and be like, oh, once I pee. I am not going to pee in my panties. I am not going to pee on my car seat. I am going to drive like a mad woman until I find the garage. And if push comes to shove, if things are so extreme that there's no garage inside because I'm on the garden route going to Cape Town, I will park my car. I will gata coast on some stretchy patch of road that is empty of cars and human company, and I will conspicuously squat on the side of the road and pee because I checked that nobody's coming. But I am certainly not going in my pants. Essentially, we have got rules and regulations that we operate through by as the human peoples, and those of us who excel beyond them, we are embarrassing ourselves. All you do when you pee in your car en route Cape Town, because there's no garage in sight for you to go and pee, like osquatile, osaduli, ubeli tissue 20 mo. All that does is embarrass you, make you look like umuntu that needs diapers at the age of 40. Sure, girl. She walked into the garage and her pants were wet. The whole world will just diss you. You're better off stopping moonsighting and using that conspicuous little, contraption. Because there are proper. As a human woman, as a human man, you don't get to act like an animal and just go in for the kill. You don't just get to dive in like Trey Songz. There are rules. You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Emma. So I don't care that people can afflict me with sex dreams. Bottom line is, I'm not having sex outside of wedlock. And if I should die, wasn't any avenue of escape out of this life, then by all means. Because at the end of the day, to live is Christ, but to die is gain. Y'all are the ones that are incontinent. You lack self-control. You just do what you want to do. And because you can't get women like me, the way that you get women out there that are happy to, if you just give them a wad of cash this big, she's in your hotel room. When you can't get a woman that way, then you will manipulate her with witchcraft. You will bend over backwards, you will look left and right, you will properly use witchcraft to basically sprinkle spiritual roofies. Sprinkle spiritual roofies. And have sex with her anyway. Even though she did not consent, and even though your money did not make her barge, because she doesn't regard herself as a prostitute. Sex nightmares, and some of the people that I see in them, because it's impossible. You can't possibly be watching my content. You can't possibly be looking at me that way. Mara, I have been accustomed to Korobela for so long. Ke bona so much and ke tseba so well that there's no way that lumuntu lona kangishaya nge Korobela. Even though I am scared ukumkhipha ngoba ku impossible kaze ungithotse neng. When did you find my content? I ke tsebe gore ke shebetswe ke mang, guys. I don't know who is watching my videos. Mara, some of the woza spells are so arrogant. Some of the woza spells are so arrogant that these people literally expect you to pursue them. Because they are that important and that elevated. Too much for you. For them, to already be asking you to do anything for them. Like witchcraft to make you seduce a man, even though he wanted to sleep with you. He wanted you back. He wanted you to consider having relations with him. But he will not, Shayla, or even slide into your DMs, write you. He will expect you to knock on his door and say, hey, how you doing? It's been a minute. I'm high and I'm dry. I need service. Do you perhaps want to have that kind of relationship with me, if you don't mind? That's how below the belt some of this witchcraft is. I had a dream about one of my ex-boyfriends from long ago. The guy broke my virginity. Coming to my house where I stay with my cousin just to say, hi, how's it? What's up? Karabo, how you doing? And as soon as I saw him, my feelings in my dream just flooded. He was speaking about regular things, regular life, like nothing much. He was not trying to holla. He was not trying to reminisce. He was not trying to remind me that I still love him. Nothing. He was just, hey, what's up? How you doing? Okay, cool. And just by mere virtue of being around, in my ecosystem, my feelings for him just, they all came back. And not only did my feelings come back, but I started to just scan him up and down, like salivating after him. And he was talking about his wife, talking about how this is my wife this, my wife that, I've got this many kids, this is my life, my family, basically just telling me about his life. And on some, so how are you? This is my life, Karabo, and how is yours? Almost like you bumped into an ex-boyfriend after 20 years. And he's like, oh, I'm married with 3 kids. You? Oh, no, I'm married with 4 kids. Yeah, he was talking to me like that. Not, whoa, you look beautiful. I miss you. It's been a minute. What's good? Do you want to talk? Like, oh my goodness, Karabo. It was always you. It was always you. What happened to us, though? Nothing of that nature. Just a mature dude cordially greeting an ex-girlfriend at the mall, and them talking about how it is that I've got this many kids and a husband, and he's got that many kids and a wife. Yeah. He was acting normally around me in my dream, but I was flustered in his midst. I was nostalgic. I was desirous. And I was low-key waiting for him after my cousin left the room to be like, Karabo, it's been a minute. I miss you. I've missed you all this time. It's always been you. You were supposed to be my wife. I love you. Why did we break up? I was waiting for him to say that to me in my dream. Timo emetsore. Let's run away together. Let's elope. Let's leave everyone behind and just come together. Baby, I see now that it was always you. I was literally sitting around waiting for this guy to propose leaving his wife so him and I can go into the sunset because it was never supposed to end. He never did anything of that nature. He just carried on as normal. Walking as a responsible man. White robes in my dream. Mara, he looked like a midget, showing me that it's a counterfeit righteousness that he was walking in. Yeah, no, I'm good. Hey, ha, ha, ha. Until I, Karabo, Sizakele Hlongwane, went to him. Kamolata Mwali. He was about to go home, get in his car, drive off, and I would never see him again. And I quickly walked to where he was at on some, let's say his name was Toriso. Yeah. Toriso, wait, stop. Em, look, I miss you. And I don't care if you don't want to leave your wife. I'm not expecting that from you. But I'm lonely and I have no one and I'm going nowhere. And I have needs. All I'm proposing that you and I do is occasionally have sex. I'm asking you to be my sex buddy. Just to relieve me of the pain of the life I'm living. And to relieve me of loneliness. And to relieve me of my passions. You don't have to leave your wife. I'm happy to be your mistress. And even then, not too seriously. You don't have to do much for me. Just give me sex. In my dream, I reached out to Toriso and I asked him to be his occasional sex buddy. My first love, ex-boyfriend, broke my virginity. I out here be conveniently dreaming about me reaching out to him and offering him sex after he was just telling me about his wife and how he has to go home. She's cooked a meal and he just wants to be a good husband and go home. And I went kilomokopa hore eloba lava boy yaka. Yo, now I was scared to come and share this dream because I was like, it's impossible. This guy he's not looking at me. This can't be witchcraft. It can't be. It can't be because I can accuse, I know. But I know witchcraft from a mile away. It's like looking left, right, and then left again like a child crossing the street. I know it. I was like, hey, I wake up from that dream where I'm out here asking my ex to be his sex slave. I go back to sleep again after Okpapam. I was asleep, I woke up, I then slept again. This time around, however, in the dream, I dreamt about the wife, and she was up in arms in misery from his feats, his activity. Like onali busy, he was hurting her, and he wasn't the same guy that he was in the beginning of their marriage or even relationship. And she was perpetually miserated by that, and she confided in me. He's my ex-boyfriend, and I did not have understanding about him as to how he eventually became as a man, because after all, 18, this guy. So I don't know what kind of man he's ever seen. No, I once saw him at a funeral, but as a person in totality, as a kid, and so I never really got to see what character decline he would walk in. So what kind of man that he was to this woman, I could never have predicted it. Yet in my dream, he was the bane of her existence. And this woman was seeking out any kind of help from any kind of friend. And she confided in me. And I was scared. And in my dream, I initially wanted to flirt with him. To basically be like, let's like run away together because your wife is frustrated and you clearly don't want her all that much anymore, so let's just go. But I ended up getting guilty and also realizing I was safe with him because his wife is complaining. She met me and made me a friend and confided in me their issues until I divorced myself from the prospect of breaking their happy home, essentially. Happy home. And somewhere along the way, in me confiding with this wife and talking with her and the two of us relating concerning our issues with men, I wanted to let her know that, hey, your husband, I know him. He's my ex, and he's a very significant ex because he broke my virginity. I wanted to tell her, but in my dream I was apprehensive because I was scared that I was going to lose her as a friend. That she was going to be like, all this time you've known this, kante unona limonaga, blah blah. But I was going to be like, but it was long ago, and was it before you had yet to meet. Yeah, we're friends. Come on, I'm not like now. I'm not with him. It was back then. I was tempted to tell her, but I didn't because I was scared to lose her as a friend. Yeah, type establishment thing. That's what was good in my dream, and that part of the dream. When I woke up from it, I asked God, what does it mean? What does it mean? Like, why would I make friends with my ex's wife? And the Lord was telling me, the issues that you are addressing now, women like her can relate to them. The issues that you are addressing now, she would be able to relate to them. But the moment she would come to learn that you were with her husband, she would likely break away from listening to you at all because of the affiliation, I guess, that you had with him. Which then brings me to this point yet again. The thing that destroys us all is fornication and just recreationally dating all over the show. Because of ex relationships, we can't live lives in the future normally. The women whose men you've slept with before, even if it was before them, like even if you were just 19 and then this guy meets his wife when they are 29, it kind of makes it impossible for you to fellowship and have sisterly relationships with women that have been with your boyfriends of the past, even if they are people of the past. We were together when you were 19, y'all got married when you were 33, and you met at 29. But if I end up working in the same office building as this woman all these years down the line, and we hit it off, house on fire relationship, become the best, the bomba. As soon as I find out that her husband is my ex-boyfriend, like oil and water, we are going to separate, because no woman wants to be out here exchanging pleasantries and having conversations with a woman that has slept with her man before. Nobody. Even if you slept with him, like I said, you were 19, once like a decade before these people met. Just by mere virtue of you having been with him before, it kills relationships between people. These recreational relationships destroy human relationships, the prospect for fellowship in the future, and they take away people's husbands and wives. These recreational relationships take away people's husbands and wives. Do you understand? When you have sex out of wedlock, you are sleeping with somebody, you are sleeping potentially with somebody's future husband. If that man, with somebody's husband, if that man marries some other woman in the future, he then becomes somebody's husband. And so you, at the age of 20, are sleeping with someone else's husband. Already, you are having an adulterous affair. You are already having an adulterous affair. Even if this man, this guy that you're sleeping with, is only going to meet his wife 3 years after you break up, it's still somebody else's husband. And you are still somebody else's wife. So that man can never be friends with your husband, because they will understand that they've both perused your body. Similarly too, you can never be friends with his wife, because you were once together. You've both slept with the same man. Only in the instance of remarriage. Sorry, not remarriage. What do you call this? Divorce? Nah, not that. I wanted to say widow and widowerhood. As in your ex-husband dies. Can you then go and get another sexual partner? That's what the Bible says. And for good reason, I can see why. Because if this man is still walking around, there is a risk of decimated fellowship when he finds out that you are his wife's ex. It just makes things awkward. It just makes things awkward. There was a guy that on the come up, so this guy was my first love because I slept with him. Big crush. But the first guy that I ever had really very big strong feelings for was in primary school. It was my first big crush, to a point where I would even call it love, and it lasted years. All of high school, on and off. Beginning of varsity. Met this dude in standard 3. That would be grade 5. And I was besotted with him until the age of 22. When I met my ex-boyfriend and it became clear that I couldn't be with him. I had big feelings for this guy in primary. I knew that he liked me in high school because he asked my friend about me. He went to a different high school, however. First year of varsity, we were out here drawing circles around each other. He never pursued. He wasted time. But he was my first really big feelings. Okay? Yeah. When my ex and I started dating, I came to learn that him and him are friends. They met out there in the wilderness, and then one day I date this guy, and then we hang out, and look at my boy from primary school. Look at my friend. Oh, he can only be my friend now, right? Look at my friend from primary school. Oh no, you don't need to introduce me to Tamba. I already know him. Met him in grade 5. Met him in grade 5. I've known him before you. Hi Tamba, you've grown. What's up? But you see, I'd already known that Tamba had grown because I saw him even after varsity. He went to Wits. Dropped out though. Type establishment thing. Anyway, whatever. So basically all the hopes and dreams of Tamba and I ever being together, that is again a pseudo name. The hopes and dreams of Tamba and I ever being together were shattered by the fact that I now was with his boy. I was with his friend. I was with my boyfriend who was his friend. And so whatever feelings we had for each other since grade 5, when I was brand spanking new at Winchester Ridge Primary School, doesn't matter. You gotta ignore them. Like, squelch them, throw them away, throw them in the fire, burn them, because you can't be dating friends. You can't be dating friends. So I maturely realized that kuphelile lana. But I remember there was a time when him and a couple of his boys came to a restaurant where my girls and I were about to have dinner. And he waltzed in there and he's like, "Hey, Karabs, how you doing? What's good?" And I'm like, "Hey, Tamba," right? I gave him the name Tamba. "Hey, Tamba, how's it? Yo, dude, no, we're cool." Chest bumping, hugging, whatnot. At that time, I'm dating my ex. But it's a girls' night out. And he comes with some of his boys on a boys' night out and sees us, greets, "Hey, Krabs, what's up?" Stand up, hug. "Hey, this is my boy's Tamba." I almost called him by his real name. "This is my boy Tamba. Tamba. These are my girls. Pinky Lerato, my Narinelwe, Tokomelo, blah blah blah." Yeah, introduce him to my girls at the round table. Then he introduces me to his boys. "This is my boy Benjamin, and this is Mike." Or whatever. "Hi, Benjamin and Mike. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys." Demba goes with his boys to sit at a different table to go and have enjoy the evening, to go and have dinner at this restaurant called Parkmore. And I sit down with my girls. We out to having dinner, and then one of my friends comes to me, and she's like, "Karabo, who is your friend. Oh my goodness, he is so hot. Oh my, can introduce, girl, hook us up. And I got so jealous. I had a friend, I was with someone, I was dating my ex at the time, and my girl comes to me, she is single and ready to mingle. I know that Temba is also single and ready to mingle. And my girl comes to me and she's like, who is your friend? Yo, he is so fly. And I was like, oh, it's Temba. Temba, whatever. No, you, no way. Besides, he's got a girlfriend. I lied. Excuse. I was like, oh, please. Oh, whatever. You like Temba, but he's kind of in a relationship anyway. I don't know what you see in him, but he's with someone and it's pretty serious. Waphuma amangangaga. I think as dotla anangle majerin anonta. I said that he is in a serious relationship because I did not want any of my girls being with him. Now he knows, if at all he does watch my content. Excuse, you also set me up for failure. We're even. I lied. I said that that he's with somebody very seriously, and my girl was like, oh bummer, and let it go. And she wasn't the only one that was like, oh, your friend is cute. But I told all of them, relax, bopang lepondo. That guy's practically married. He's taken. He's a goner. Guess you're gonna have to deal. Type establishment thing. Yeah. That on that day, even though I believed I had gotten over him. Even though I believed that I was not into him, because I was focusing on the guy that I was with at the time. When my friend, it was actually plural. It wasn't just her, but she was the first one to come to me and say, who's your guy friend? Who's your friend? When my girls were like, who's your guy friend? I realized, Wuti, I'm jealous for him. I realized that I know, like, you're not gonna be out here hanging out with him. He's mine. I felt possessive of him because I met him first. I mean, it don't get no firster than the 5th grade. It don't get no firster than grade 5. You just broke up yesterday, relax. So I stopped. I basically ceased hostilities against my own heart. They'll just have to deal. Okay? Even though he had to watch me be with my boyfriend all those years, I could not watch him be with any of my friends. Like, dream on. Like, no. I blocked something that could have sufficed. I could have said, hey, Temba, what's up, dude? My girl likes you. I didn't. I refused. Because, Mina, I was not going to be endured through the same thing that I endured him through. He watched me be with my boyfriend, and I refused to let him be with any of my friends. But that whole thing is evidence of what happens when you out here, marrying somebody else's husband before they marry that husband. You make sure that things are really crazy awkward later on. I was never with Temba, right? He dropped the ball as Angashela and stuff like that. But worse yet would things have been then if I had been with Temba. So because I was still possessive of Temba, I blocked the relationship between him and one of my friends. If at all he was interested back, right? She was really pretty, so he might have been. However, the other, my boyfriend, my ex, if I had been with Temba before, if we did date, and it's ironic because Temba's name, real life name, is the exact same name as the guy who broke my virginity. Like the exact same name. As long as he would have been the first one. But rather the other guy, Toriso, came first, right? Toriso Shedzi, Temba just didn't. And besides, I was never gonna sleep with Temba at that early age, like grade 5, for crying out loud. I was too young. Yeah, anyway, whatever. So if I had been with Temba, it would have made me dating my ex-boyfriend in the future really awkward. It never was that awkward because only all that Temba and I ever did was just kind of walk around each other and smile and laugh and joke and never ever do anything about our feelings for each other. Such that when then I was dating his boy, it was like, I guess my boy got there first type of establishment thing. So he was able to hang out with us and it be normal. Hey, hi Temba, how you good? Bryce and everything. With Temba Ajo looking at me on some, yo, that Jake, whoa, like, anyway, whatever. Yeah, I was here first. Whatever. Okay? But if I was at any given moment in a sexual relationship with him, he would never have been able to come to the same social gatherings as us. He would have probably been not as friendly, as chummy with me. He would have probably given me passive-aggressive attitude. On some, now you're dating my boy. Okay, sharp. I see. If I had had a long-term relationship with him, it's also potentially true that if I had been with Temba, I would never have been with my ex, because somewhere along the way, Temba would have met my ex, and then he would have introduced me to my ex. And so I would never have dated my ex because I would have been Temba's girl instead of my ex. But years progressed and the rather opposite occurred. And so there was cordiality between us because Temba and my ex never shared a girl, just a crush. And my ex got the girl, while Temba, una delele, he didn't. So the two of them were able to have a friendship. Understand that once two dudes have had the same girl, there's no friendship there. Or if there is a friendship, the girl is not in any of their lives. They will treat her like used goods, each. So I don't know how couples function where a woman has married the best friend of a dude and they're still friends. Like, I feel like everybody there is in denial. And in my dream, it was a similar scenario where I was with her husband long ago, like many moons ago, years before the two of them ever got together. But I was still scared to tell her that I was once with her ex, and even to the extreme of my ex being my first ever. It ruins relationships. We are not supposed to be sleeping with each other's husbands or wives. We are supposed to stay celibate until we are married, but we don't stay celibate until we're married. So we make sure that in the future, when we happen upon certain information, perfectly viable house on fire relationships fly out the window because I was with your boyfriend. Sorry, I can't be your friend. Ukulala nabantu all over the show, senior society. Do you understand? But here it is that I am being gazed upon by a whole bunch of random buffoons, some of which have my ex's friends. I've done a video speaking about that before and the level of taboo that would be. Others are married to, not married, sorry, but ex-boyfriends of women I knew back in the day. Basically just too close for comfort. And this whole thing is inspired by the fact that as time progresses, people